Let me tell you something, son. Every young man thinks women fall for words. The sweet talk, the compliments, the endless texting. But the truth? Women don't fall for what you say. They fall for what they feel when you say nothing at all. There's a reason why some men can walk into a room, say almost nothing, and yet every woman's eyes find them. That, my friend, is the quiet power of mystery. And before we go deeper into this, do something simple that helps this message reach more men, like this video right now, because when you do, YouTube's algorithm recognizes this video as valuable and shares it with more people who need this wisdom. And if you're ready to understand what makes women truly obsessed, not with your words, but your presence, subscribe right now. Let's begin. Number 1. Silence isn't absence, it's energy. Most men think silence means weakness. They think if they're quiet, she'll lose interest. But here's what psychology says. Women are emotionally wired to fill silence with imagination. When you're silent, her mind starts working. She wonders what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you might do next. That curiosity turns into emotional tension. And tension is the root of attraction. The less you reveal, the more she invests emotionally trying to understand you. Remember this. A man's silence doesn't push her away. It pulls her in. Number 2. Mystery activates a woman's emotional brain. The female brain thrives on emotional puzzles. It's wired to seek meaning, to decode feelings. When a man reveals everything about himself instantly, there's nothing left to explore. But when he stays grounded, calm, a little unreadable, her emotional system stays engaged. Psychology calls this intermittent reward, the feeling of unpredictability that keeps the brain craving more. Every unanswered thought, every subtle look, every pause, it feeds that emotional hunger. That's why mystery is magnetic. It's not manipulation, it's mastery. Number 3. Mystery builds respect. A woman may like a man who entertains her, but she respects the man she can't fully figure out. When you hold your silence with calm confidence, she senses depth. She knows there's more to you than meets the eye. And that triggers admiration. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel she's connected to a man who has inner control. Someone who doesn't spill his emotions everywhere, but channels them with purpose. Men who talk too much are predictable. Men who reveal too little seem mysterious. But the man who speaks rarely and meaningfully, he becomes unforgettable. Number 4. Silence creates emotional space. Every connection needs oxygen, and oxygen in relationships comes from space. When you don't text constantly, when you give her time to miss you, when you let her sit in the silence, you give her mind permission to imagine. And imagination always paints you in richer colors. When she wonders what you're doing, who you're thinking about, or if you're missing her, her emotional attachment deepens. Because longing is built in the absence, not in the noise. Remember, constant presence dulls desire. Mystery keeps it alive. Number 5. Your mystery must come from depth, not games. Now don't misunderstand me, son. Mystery isn't about pretending to be busy or acting cold. That's immaturity. Real mystery comes from a man who has a life so rich, so full of purpose, that he doesn't need to explain himself. A man who listens more than he speaks, because he's learned that silence reveals more truth than noise ever could. He doesn't chase attention. He commands it by being centered. That's the kind of mystery women obsess over. Not because he hides, but because he's whole. Number 6. Silence shows strength under emotion. The moments that test you most are the ones that reveal your power. When she's emotional, when she's testing your patience, when she's trying to provoke a reaction. Your silence becomes your armor. Psychology calls this emotional containment. Women subconsciously test men to see if they can handle their emotional storms. If you can stay calm, breathe and respond instead of react. She feels something rare. Safety. She knows she can trust your energy, and trust is what builds obsession. Your silence in conflict says more than 1,000 words ever could. Number 7. Silence turns into emotional authority. When you speak less, your words carry weight. The fewer you use, the more value they gain. That's why when the quiet man finally speaks, people listen. In relationships, that same rule applies. Your silence teaches her that your attention is earned, not given freely. It creates polarity. A balance between your masculine restraint and her emotional expressiveness. And that polarity is what keeps attraction alive for years. Now listen, my friend. Women don't truly obsess over your looks, your money, or even your words. They obsess over your energy, over how they feel when you walk away and say nothing. When your silence holds mystery and your mystery holds depth, that's when she feels something she can't quite name. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't be afraid of space. Because silence isn't the absence of communication. It's the presence of control. And in a world full of noise, the quiet man is unforgettable. If this message spoke to you, if you felt that shift inside, like this video right now so YouTube knows it's valuable and shares it with more men who need this message. And subscribe if you're ready to master the psychology of attraction, calm confidence, and masculine energy. Because the world needs fewer loud men and more quiet kings.